Is India weaponizing trade to take on countries that side with Pakistan? A few days back, we told you how Malaysia is being taught a lesson for commenting on India's internal matters, especially the CAA. India changed rules to effectively bar the import of refined palm oil from Malaysia. Malaysian palm oil refiners are staring at a crisis. India is their biggest importer. And now it turns out that Turkey too is on the government's radar for possible trade curbs. Multiple reports to this effect have emerged. Some suggest that the Indian government is planning to cut oil and steel imports from Turkey. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has defined imposing curbs on either of the two countries. He said, and I'm quoting, "India believes in free play and equal treatment for all. I do not think we have put any curbs on imports from Malaysia or Turkey." But listen to what he said next, and I'm quoting again. "If some of the restrictions impact Malaysia, I don't think that will be the only country impacted. There are other exporters to India who would have the same impact." What does it mean? It's a rather ambiguous statement and it's open to interpretation, so let's take the liberty. Yes, there are certain curbs that have been imposed. The Malaysian Prime Minister, in fact, has gone on record to accept that he is ready to bear the financial losses. As for Turkey, any news of trade curbs cannot be downplayed. The Turkish media is talking about it already. One headline is on your screens. So what's the rationale behind India's move? Not too long ago, Prime Minister Modi's two-day official visit to Ankara was called off the last minute. This was in October 2019, immediately after Turkish President Erdogan's UNGA speech, where he criticized India's Kashmir move. And much like Malaysia, Turkey's affinity for Pakistan is evident. Turkey once slammed the Financial Action Task Force, the FATF, for proposing to blacklist Pakistan. In fact, Turkey and Malaysia, along with China, were the three countries that have repeatedly bailed out Pakistan at the FATF. So what is at stake with India? India's exports to Turkey far exceed Turkey's exports to India. Look at the figures. The volume of trade between Turkey and India exceeded $8 billion in 2018, but bilateral trade relations are strikingly imbalanced. Indian exports to Turkey stood at $7.5 billion the same year. What this means is that most of the trade is being done by India. The balance is clearly in India's favor. First Malaysia, now Turkey. There's a clear transition in how India is going to approach the critics and those who side with Pakistan. Diplomacy aside, this is an expression of Indian government's greater self-assurance, you could say.